Hello, I'm Dr. Dennis McKenna. Today I'm joined by Fran Spier-Appert. Fran, it's great to have you here.
Nice to be here, Dennis.
So as everybody knows, Fran is our System Chief Financial Officer, System Chief Operating Officer, and we have a bunch to talk about. Today is Thursday, March 7th, giving you the update from Albany Med. So Fran, it's great to have you here. We've done this maybe a half dozen times.
Happy to be back.
Happy to be back. All right, the topics we're going to talk about today are our new EMR. We're going to talk about the Workforce Challenge, and we're going to talk about a blood drive. And I want to begin by Fran saying, Fran, you are epic. You are epic. So,
it's a great T-shirt.
Yeah, it is. A bunch of us were handing them out this morning.
Yes.
I know you were there. We'll be doing it again this evening. If you have not gotten your T-shirt, if you work at one of the off-site locations, I know we're delivering them over to South and other locations,
yes.
But if you haven't gotten yours, don't worry. We have enough for everybody, and we hope that you get them because it's really a big event.
And we do have more mediums. That was the one size that at the main entrance we ran out of this morning, but there are more.
So let's talk about this. Why are we saying you are epic? This is an incredible, I would say, historic week here at Albany Med.
Absolutely.
I described it the other day in the boardroom. I said it was the first step in the third phase of the beginning, right? And why do I mean by that? Well, we've been talking for a while about Care One here at Albany Med. Care One is our journey to electrify and bring together all of our disparate systems as a health system. Columbia Memorial Health, Albany Med, Saratoga Glens Falls, and the VNA. And it started with what we call our first phase, which was our bring to standard work.
Absolutely.
Cybersecurity, IT, right? This is very important.
All of our infrastructure,
All of our
yes.
infrastructure.
And we did that across the entire system. It was a major investment. And what we wanted to make sure is that we had a very strong technical foundation before we put the state-of-the-art product on top of it.
So that was phase one. Phase two was when we took the entire health system and we put them on one unified ERP, an area that you were obviously centrally involved in. We picked Workday, which was the best available out there. Went very well. We went live over the first weekend in July last year. Workday's live.
It is live, and that was a big bang go live. So we went live on the same day across our entire system. And what we did was convert financial reporting and our entire supply chain on the Albany, the Glens Falls, Saratoga, and Columbia campuses.
And now let's fast forward to this last weekend. We had phase three, which is the electronic medical record. Again, we picked the best one available, Epic.
Yes.
And I called it the first step because we went live on the Albany campus first. We'll go live with the other campuses in the fall. But this was a big deal. And we're going to talk some statistics here in a second. But let's begin by saying how remarkable it was that we went onto one common platform now for Albany Med, inpatient, outpatient, urgent care, all those locations, one medical record.
It's such a tremendous change for our campus.
Right.
We have never had the hospital and the practice on
Together.
the same platform.
Right.
And really, as important as the technology and as important as how much this will elevate our patient care, the teamwork and camaraderie throughout this has been pure magic.
No question. There was a presentation done yesterday at the Albany Med Health System Board. That presentation was done by Chris Couchet. It was done by Dr. Vic Becker, and it's done by Shelley Breton. And honestly, if anybody deserves to be in these chairs, it's the three of them. Unfortunately, they're probably too busy in the command center and taking care of issues. I certainly know that Chris and Vic have been here before. They'll be back here again. But I want to share with you and with our audience some of the things that they shared with our board, because really numbers tell a story.
Yes.
And there's some incredible things. So we cut over at 5:18 in the morning, Saturday morning. I know you were here, I was here. It was a busy place. There was a lot that happened. We went into downtime and we brought the new system up. 5:18, we cut over. What did we turn on? We turned on a unified hospital electronic medical record. We turned on an ambulatory electronic medical record. We turned on a new patient portal. We turned on something called Care Everywhere and Care Link. We'll talk about those in a second. And we talked about revenue cycle.
Absolutely.
And we lit that up as well.
Yes.
You want to talk about any of those things in particular now, or?
I'll talk a little bit first about just the cutover process, what went on in the background. The IT folks are our silent heroes. Very similar to how they did that bring to standard work. They were in the background doing incredible amounts of technical, very specific procedures to turn off systems, turn new ones on, had to be synchronized perfectly, and they did it without a hitch.
Yeah, I've said before, the complexity of what they did eludes my complete understanding.
Yeah.
It's like you walk into the command center, it's like the Matrix. You just see code running. And
Yes.
so you know how incredibly difficult this work is, and the room was filled with people like that, but they made it happen.
I would have been sweating.
I
if
know,
were them,
right.
but they did not.
As importantly as what we were able to bring up, what's also important is what we were able to turn off, to turn down. So there are dozens now, and eventually there'll be hundreds of systems that get turned down that are now part of the Epic suite, the package there.
Yes.
And that becomes important because when we take upgrades, we take it in synchronicity, not only on this campus and the system, and it's a cost savings, and it allows us to advance forward without having all these different bolt-on things. So
And we will have our first upgrade this year.
there you go. So things like Acusis Dictation have changed, or SunQuest Lab, or Syngo Radiology, Saurian Financials, Pisces OR Manager. They are now all replaced by what we have in our new Epic platform.
So exciting.
Yeah. Fran, there's some statistics. Why don't you share some
Yeah.
for people? We're both numbers people. You have some, I have Give some ideas of the types of things that have happened since we went live.
Absolutely.
And it's only been, what, now 4 days, right?
4 days, and if you don't mind, I'm going to go backwards a
course.
little bit. So 2 weeks before go live, we had what we called Conversion Weekend,
Right.
and that was choreographed by Shelley Brenton and Kathy Palazzi.
Yep.
We brought over 300 people over to our site at 1275 Broadway. And in that time frame, and again, tremendous teamwork, 152,000 appointments were converted into Epic.
Incredible.
11,000 registrations were completed. 14,000 orders were transcribed into Epic. 1,400 surgical cases scheduled in Epic, and over 28,000 appointments booked. And that was 2 weeks before we went live.
And what that ensured is that if anybody had already had an appointment scheduled in the old system, it now lived in Epic. And so obviously
Exactly.
there was no break in continuity there.
And another wonderful example of teamwork, and it was on-the-job training. There was so much learning that continued to go on throughout that entire weekend.
I met people that weekend that said, Dennis, today when I'm trying to book a case for the operating room, I have to get prior authorization, I have to schedule it, I have to do this. I'm in 4 different systems bouncing around. I'll be in one in the future.
Exactly. And throughout that weekend, as they have throughout the entire Go Live project, food services, environmental services,
Yep.
our Aramark, they have just been our partners throughout this project. So big thank you to all of them as well, keeping us well fed and provided for and safe in our environment. So thank you.
Absolutely, thank you. Talk also about our system partners. I know that all the systems were there helping us with that as well.
So we had representation from every single campus in the super user group and other Go Live support. So obviously this was just the Albany Go Live, but we had people from Columbia, we had people from Saratoga, from Glens Falls, all here to help us with this effort.
Absolutely. Let's talk some more statistics, something called Care Everywhere and Care Link. What people don't appreciate yet, I think, is that by going live with the new electronic medical record here, not only now can our own Albany Med practice and hospital share a record, as well as our urgent care, and when we go live as a system, that would be a wonderful step forward. But also any other hospital or system that has Epic, now all their medical information is available immediately. So in just 4 short days, we know that there have been exchanges of electronic information with 150 different hospitals.
It's incredible.
Today, if a patient were to be transferred in here from a hospital that had Epic, we would have gotten stacks of paper. You would have had to repeat the history. You would have had to
Lots of
repeat the
phone calls.
medications, phone calls, transcribing it in. It all now gets pulled in. St. Peter's is on Epic. We know there's a lot of patients who access both hospitals because they may have providers in both campuses. We've had over 4,000 exchanges going bi-directionally just in 4 or 5
amazing.
days between those 2 campuses.
Amazing.
Imagine what this has looked like. For all intents and purposes, what we now have in the capital region is we have one singular electronic record for inpatient care. In addition to that, for physician practices that may not be on Epic, they can tap in through something called CareLink, and we have over 300 accesses of that already, and we're just beginning. So this is really an incredible thing for the people at the bedside. It's incredible for people doing rev cycle, but it's also absolutely a great thing for the consumer.
Oh, it so is.
Yeah.
I've been into my own MyChart, and I
Right.
couldn't believe how much data had already populated. I've gotten all my friends and family to do the same.
I think
your record is there, your history is there, no longer trying to memorize
Right.
things.
And we encourage you, if you haven't downloaded MyChart, to do so. I think the most recent number I saw was maybe over 20,000 people have done that, have downloaded MyChart as well. So it's really very special. I think before we move on to the other topics, we just want to go back to the very beginning and just really thank everybody. This has been an incredible effort across the board. This has been all hands on deck. It's been a multi-year journey. But as I said before, this is the first step in the third phase of the beginning. We're just beginning. Even when we get this on our other campuses, then we begin to really harness the power of it, right? Through artificial intelligence, natural language processing, analytics, the way in which it'll help us with all different facets of our care and care delivery. It's going to be fantastic.
It is. And as Dennis said, we don't expect this to go smooth. These types of projects do not. There'll be bumps. There have been bumps. There'll continue to be bumps as we stabilize, as we prepare to go live on the other campuses. Stay positive, stay focused, continue to file your service tickets, reach out to your managers, reach out to the help desk when needed. We are here to support you through this. We promise. This journey is 200% worth it. Yeah. This is so good for our community, so good for our providers, so good for all of you. You can spend your day ultimately focusing on your patients, focusing on what you love to do.
For sure. And again, to Chris Couchet and his team, to Dr. Vic Becker and his team, and to Shelley Breton and her team, we can't thank you enough.
I know. Yeah. And we can't, I can't resist telling you that we have dropped charges.
Oh, good. Very good. Very important.
And we have sent out bills.
That's very important. Yeah. That's very important. All right, let's talk about two other very important things. First of all, Workforce Challenge. We do this every year. Registration is open. We hope that you'll be looking forward to join us. It's going to be downtown near the Empire State Plaza. It's going to be on a Thursday night, May 16th. May 16th. It's 3.5 miles, so a little bit more than a 5K. You can run, you can walk, you can do a combination of the two. That's up to you. The system will subsidize $20 for the registration fee, okay? So it's only going to be $10 to sign up, and you'd get a free T-shirt. It's a fun event.
It's a lot of
fun. We
had
the biggest team last year. We've had people in the past from our campus that have won. But whether you walk, you run, it's just a nice night out. Get to hang out with some of your coworkers, and we hope that you'll do that. So look for that, and registration is open. We hope you join. And then blood.
Yes, we've got 2 blood drives coming up. So the first is March 18th, and that is at our Emergent Care in Glenville. So thank you to all of them for hosting. The second is March 28th, and that is on the main campus in F309. So please join in and donate blood for our patients and for our community. Yeah. And we're so proud. There's always such wonderful turnout, blood drives, community events by our entire workforce. So thank you for continuing to support all of these events.
Yeah, for sure. The theme today, to me, feels community, right? So
Absolutely.
We're putting in this new electronic medical record. The beneficiary of that is the community.
Yes.
Right. Workforce Challenge is about the community of employed individuals here, and then obviously the blood drive helps the community.
Absolutely.
So it's wonderful.
And on behalf of the workforce, we want to thank you for taking, and I know that this is hard for you to be thanked, but we want to thank you for taking the challenge of taking on Epic. Yeah. That is a huge endeavor. It's a big risk for a CEO to take on. You had the courage, and we are all going to benefit from that. So thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right. We'll leave it on that note, and we'll be back again in 2 weeks. We have a lot going on here. The campus continues to run 24/7. That command center is going to be taking care of tickets for the next few weeks. We know there's a lot out there that are using the system for the first time. They're getting more comfortable with it, and we've only just begun. So it's wonderful. So congratulations to our entire workforce, and we look forward to seeing what we can do with it. Fran, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, and congratulations, and thanks to all.
All right, we'll see you in 2 more weeks. We ask that you once again take care of yourself, take care of each other, and we'll see you soon.